you can't live your life one way in your personal life and then live your life a different way in business, especially when you're working with youth, because they see things that's not real in you, and so you can't be fake.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your daughter. What do you do with your 2-year-old? I mean, do you take her to Chuck E. Cheese?
Chuck E. Cheese,
Okay.
there you go. That
Okay, yes.
Chuck E. Cheese is her spot, and I know that I call it the kids' casino.
Yeah.
And she loves Chuck E. Cheese. She wants to go to Chuck E. Anytime she sees me, she wants to go to Chuck E. And that's our spot.
Okay.
Like I say, so.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you have to change roles from
Yes.
being, I'm sure at times there's a militant posture
Yes.
working with youth
Yes.
and a disciplinary
Yes.
structure that you have to maintain.
Yes.
And then you go here on the other side and you're with your 2-year-old in Chuck E. Cheese. I'm sure, is that
Yeah,
easy
and get
to
the
make
baby
switch?
talk and all
Yes.
that. It's easy because that's my nature too.
Okay.
I'm a nurturing type parent,
Okay.
and so it's easy. With my sons, I'm a little bit more stern. With the young men in our community, I'm very stern with them as well. Um, I was raised by women. Being raised by my grandparents. They had all girls.
Okay.
So I was the son that my grandfather didn't have, and he was the father that I didn't have. But that nurturing side came natural. So.
Warriors for Change.
Uh,
Yes, tell us a little bit about this program, and do you and your sons attend? I noted that the group
Yeah.
comes together every 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, Warriors for Change was designed to get men in the community together, because I feel like as men, we don't bond enough together for our community. Same with our ministries. I don't feel like our ministries work together enough in our community. And I say this because I service a lot of the families that are in the churches and in our, a lot of these kids that have dropped out of school, or 15 with 2 and 3 kids. We see those every day. And it's sad. And so it's gonna take our men, no matter what background you have, no matter what color you are, race, creed, none of that. It's gonna take our men to join arms and forces to take our communities back. And so that's what Warriors for Change came from.
Okay. And how many men and boys come together?
Well, what we've done, we've transitioned from Warriors for Change to our Man Up program,
Okay.
Which is once again our male mentor program. So we kind of merged those together. So now that's Man Up. But we probably service over 200 youth just in that program, and 200 volunteers right now, and we're still growing.
And what are some of the problems that you see ongoing? I mean, what would you say to a single mom raising boys? What are some of the subject matters that you're presented with?
The universal crisis that I see in traveling is hopelessness. They don't have any hope for anything. A lot of times it could be environment, it could be the family, the family structure. Not necessarily being a single parent, but just things that go on. I mean, there are more issues than just a single parent. I mean, you can have
Sure.
abusive parents. There's many different
Absolutely,
things.
yes.
So, just because I don't like dealing with the single parent thing, and I know that's kind of off that's uncommonly heard, but your home is not broken just because you have a single person in there taking care of you. You can have a 2-person home and it's very abusive.
Yes.
So hopelessness is a very universal crisis. So we have to get them to believe in themselves and know just because you have a child or just because you made a decision that wasn't the best decision in your life, you can still move on and you can
Sure.
still be great.
Sure.
You can
Sure.
still possess the mindset of a champion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's very, very impressive, your book, your attitude, and a lot of times people would look for you and say, well, he, was fed a golden spoon and his life has been perfect. How do you turn around that negativity when someone says, hey, I was in a gang, my mom left home and she was abused by my dad, I never knew my father.
Sure.
What advice
Sure.
would you give?
Yeah, I would tell them. Though I was never involved in gangs, the neighborhood. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Okay, which when I came up was very tough, and especially the streets that I grew up on. I've seen my friends killed. I've had my best friend murdered. So I mean, I've seen a lot of that, and I never knew my father, as we discussed. I don't know that side of my family. When I started this foundation, I had no money. I was divorced, so I challenge people to talk to me, because then they'll learn and know that when they bring their child to me, or my organization, that they have someone that's been through something, not just someone that's a picture on a frame, you know, and the foundation is, and their name is on it.
Sure, leading by example.
Leading by example, and like I said, I am a single parent, if you will. I live it every day. There's nothing new.
Yes,
There's
that's
nothing new
true.
under the sun,
That
as
is
they
fa-
say.
Exactly, that is true. So, what about young men struggling with their identity? They're having struggles, needless to say, you know, men and women come together, boys and girls, and, you know, that attraction is there. And as you stated, there are teenagers that have 2 and 3 kids at 15 years old.
Yes.
How do you mentor?
Well,
those
once
young
again,
men?
when I sit down, and I do constantly, we just tell them, look, we're gonna have to make better decisions. I don't sugarcoat when I mentor. You made a bad decision, we need to fix it. You know, so we have, with the mindset of a champion, not only is there a book, but I've also developed a curriculum and a self-help book to better, you know, to better their lives. But more than anything, you made the choice, so now it's time to provide resources to help you get better. So with myself and the foundation, we have resources that we give them to get them back on track. You know, so I mean, it's sad and it is tough, but until we provide them ways and some mentorship, some ways to find employment, they're going to start doing things that we look down on in society.
Sure,
You
sure.
know, so.
And tell me, and just in close, I noted that one of your favorite quotes was common sense, and share how did you come
prayer,
up? Yes.
planning, faith, and common sense, and that's just the four. My father taught me that. My grandfather taught me that a long time ago. You know, life we make life difficult. You know, leadership is not complicated. We complicate leadership, and that's what I tell them. Look, you pick the 4 things that you feel is important in your life, and in my life it's prayer, planning, faith, and common sense, and you follow those 4. I feel like personally that's helped me live my life. You know, of course, it's changing. Every day I may change it to
Sure.
another 4. Well, whatever works for you. Just find something that you love. With the economy today, it's hard to find work, and that's another
Very
sore
true.
spot in our homes. We want to teach our young people to be entrepreneurs. Find your passion. Find what you love to do, and we're going to teach you how to profit from your passion.
Yes, and I love that in close, how to
Yeah.
profit from your passion.
Yes.
That is very, very encouraging. Thank you, Coach Q,
Thank you
for
for
joining
having
us.
me. Thank you for having
Absolutely.
me.
And I'm La Petite Beast with Single Parent, hosted by Christ Our Shepherd Ministers. Thank you. And remember, you are not alone.